Hair looks great. Hey everybody, we're getting ready for some more races this season. We have the DC Tour. Found a couple things, changed a couple things in the DC Tour, so here's just a quick one to kind of go over a couple things I found and a couple things we're going to do ahead of the next race. Maybe a haircut, maybe a shave. So as you can see, we got a pretty good list of things going on there. Not all that stuff was going to be done in time for the race. Not all of it is intended to be done in time for the next race. But I want to talk about a couple things we ran into. So one of the things I noticed when I got the car back to the garage is I had a lot of oil in here and some oil down there. So I thought, great, valve cover's leaking again, but I checked it, it's tight, gasket seems fine. And I was fiddling around and here was something and I bumped into this and this started to rock and shake. So the breather, which is an aftermarket unit, lets me use these AN fittings. That runs up there, got one that goes on the other side. This was starting to come loose. So it's got a set screw, but that didn't seem to matter. So tightened everything up, put Loctite on the set screw, and yeah, hopefully that's in place. So maybe that's taken care of. It stinks like brake cleaner in here because I've been cleaning under the car, but hopefully that's one of the things knocked out. One other thing we tackled, or at least took a look at, is after the race, the radiator was still moving around a little bit, so I just kind of tightened up the mount. So another job done. Hopefully that's in good shape. I think, well, that almost takes care of everything we did in the front. I did add some negative camber to the front of the car, so a little more negative camber, and we did put softer springs up front. So we're on a softer spring up front. We've got a little bit more negative camber. Looking for some more grip. Hopefully oil leaks are fixed. That's probably under the hood. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing under the hood. A brand new power steering cap, because that looked like it might have been leaking a little bit. I wasn't sure, so it was cheap enough. Put a new one on. All right, so that's officially the things that I did under the hood here. Let's take a look at the back of the car. All right, here we are under the back of the car. So let me help you out, get some orientation if you haven't seen this before, you just aren't familiar. So here is the passenger side rear hub. A lot of people ask about the hubs on this car. This is a car set up to use wide 5, which was used a lot in circle track racing. So you can see the hub is massive. There's the brake. We did change out our rear springs, and I added a little helper spring here, so when things are fully drooped out, it'll stay where it's supposed to be. We've been checking on things, so you know, sway bar is good to go. The one big thing I did is right here, this right here, is our upper link on our rear suspension. And I made a lot of adjustments to that at the last race, and one of the things that was kind of a consequence of that is it threw off pinion angle. So I had to adjust my pinion angle because, let me try to crawl in here. So if you look where that red and yellow paint is, I had some marks on the drive shaft where it looked like it had just maybe kissed something in here. Don't think it was the exhaust. It is close to the exhaust. I think it might have been that lower cross member there, which it's miles away from right now. But I had such a pinion angle in here before that I think it might have been causing a problem. So there's the exhaust for anybody who's curious. It's the other side of the car over there. So back here, the spring change happened in DC. We did an adjustment to the link angle. We're adding a little more anti-squat. We got our pinion angle a little bit better set up. So hopefully we're gonna be in good shape there. And for those curious, this is what the wheel looks like off the car. So you can see the hub takes up normally that big center section. If you look at the front here, see there's the big hub right there. No hub. Hub. No hub. All right, so one last thing. This isn't something that I've been working on, but someone in the last video kind of asked a little bit about the splitter, and I think specifically how it's mounted. So I just want to show you, here's the splitter here, and the main mounts to the chassis are these aluminum guys that I made. So you can see, let me get right on the side. So you see kind of the shape here. It's this kind of little reverse loop hook. And what that attaches to, if we look under the car, we've got, get another spot. All right, so if we look under the car, we've got these hooks right here. So these hooks are actually attached to a framework that's all underneath this bumper. And that's what the cables for the splitter attached to. So, you see if, yeah, it's kind of hard to see in there, but if you go to my build thread, I'll try to link below. You can see the framework that was built, and there are these little hooks here, and so that's what the aluminum part hooks onto. So I slide the splitter in from the front, it comes and it hooks over this, so it's kind of go up and over, so that way it can't really fall out. We attach the cables at the front to keep everything where it's supposed to be. And that's kind of it. Like I mentioned, I have kind of at least the early splitter build in my build thread. I'll link to that down below. The mount stayed the same. The splitter design itself has changed a couple times, but the mounting has all been the same. So we're just gonna knock out a couple more things, double check some measurements, rebalance the car, and we'll be ready for the next event, which should be BMC Autocross at Ripken Stadium, and I think that's like the last weekend in May, thereabouts. I had to double check, but yeah, we'll be out there. So quick little update video. Stuff is happening. If I sound weird, I'm just getting over COVID. I'm vaccinated and boosted, but it got me anyway. So excuse me if I'm a little out of breath, or if I'm a little tired, or I sound a little weird, but I'm feeling a lot better, and we'll be in good shape to race. So anyway, thanks for checking in, and we'll see you soon.